Greetings. My name is Dr. Waddell Brooks, Sr., your host, and this is Community Focus. Today, we are very fortunate to have with us an exemplary person, Mrs. Cris Clark. She's the superintendent, Zion Benton Township High School, District 126. Good morning, Mrs. Clark.
Good morning, Dr. Brooks.
We're very fortunate that you have taken time for your busy schedule to be with us on the Community Focus to let Lake County know about the great things that are happening in Zion, Illinois.
Well, I'm pleased to accept the invitation. Thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah. Lake County is approximately, 710 and 13,000 people. And, of course, I don't know how many up at 6 o'clock Sunday morning listen to this program, but there are quite a few. I have a great listening audience. And you have we read in the news, the Lake County News Sun, about the many good things that are happening. You have a technology campus. You have outstanding sports, and the girls and the boys athletic teams, and it just super. But I want you to tell our listening audience a little bit about Cris Clark. Tell us a little bit about your personal and professional background.
Okay, I'd be delighted. Well, I've been with District 126 for 15 years now, lifelong resident. My husband, Tim, and I have been married for 26 years. We're lifelong residents of Zion Benton community. We have 2 grown children, our son, who's a chemical engineer and chemist for Halliburton, now residing in Arkansas, and our daughter is studying elementary education in Augustana College. So those are sources of pride, but equally proud of the district I serve and that I've grown to love as a lifelong community member. I began with the district about 15 years ago as an assistant to the superintendent and took on the role of assistant superintendent for business prior to being named superintendent in 2008. A little bit about my education. My bachelor's degree in management communication comes from Concordia University. Went on to get a master's degree in education from Northern Illinois University. Superintendent's credentials and doctoral coursework is with Western Illinois University, and I'm currently completing a dissertation with National University. Outside of that, I'm also involved in public service in that I'm a member of the Illinois Beach Sunrise Rotary Club, where I served as president in 2006 and continued to be active as their financial secretary, and serve on the board of directors for the Zion Area Chamber of Commerce. So that's a little bit about Cris Clark.
Well, Cris, I know you're in communications also, so you're not new to the field, and you also graduate of Western Illinois University, because I graduated from Illinois State, so I don't hold that against you. But tell our listening audience, what piqued your interest in the education field?
Well, I started in corporate America, and by chance, after coming back into the workforce after the birth and raising of my 2 children, it was an invitation to apply and work in the central office of District 126, apply those skills that introduced me to it. And once I got into public education, there was no turning back. I absolutely fell in love with the notion of serving my community, serving our stakeholders, and giving back. Okay,
tell us about the structure of Zion Benton. I should say District 126. Describe District 126 for us.
Certainly. We are now a 2-campus high school district serving grades 9 through 12. We have approximately 2,800 students across both of our campuses, on an additional about 150 students that we serve in various residential programs or through the Special Education District of Lake County. So we're nearing the 3,000 mark in total that we are responsible for in providing educational services at the high school level.
Why a tech campus?
Well, as our district grew, we were facing tremendous enrollment growth with the build-outs that were happening in the Zion Benton area. We've added nearly 800 students to the district in the last 10 years. And we knew that our large campus on 21st and Kenosha Road was being stretched at the seams, so to speak. So the Board of Education and administration had to look closely at what resources we had available to meet the needs of this influx of students we were receiving. That turned our eyes towards the Pierce campus, which was the original high school campus back in 1939, and looked at the west side of that campus, our Pierce West campus, which was built in the mid-'60s, and determined that that would be an excellent and viable site for a second high school campus. So that sent us on a journey of looking at what exactly that needed to be in order to meet the diverse needs of our Zion Benton students, and set us on a course of looking at best practice, what scientific research supports, going out and visiting schools that are defying the odds, so to speak, with their academic achievement, and building a model that we thought would serve our population well. So last year we opened New Tech High at Zion Benton East, a small school of choice that in its fourth year will eventually serve 400 students, grades 9 through 12, in a technology-rich one-to-one computing model that is very rich in personalization and relationships in a small school environment. It also offers a project-based learning curriculum that is somewhat unique to most comprehensive high schools, but provides real opportunities for integration of coursework and basically application of knowledge as students work through real-world problems to find solutions. That's a little bit about our shining star, New Tech High.
Mrs. Clark, education is so important. But Illinois is rated lowest for the 50 states, and I wonder why.
Well, it's certainly a concern I think that all public schools in Illinois share, and that is that we do rate significantly low, near the bottom as far as the priority our state puts funding public education. Last I've heard, I believe we rank about 48th.
Wow!
As far as the percentage of the state budget that goes to public education.
Wow, and I guess the Springfield is considering just how to fund the schools, because the state is responsible, for the education of kids in the state. School district like North Chicago, about $700-800 per student per year, and school district just south of North Chicago, maybe up to $17,000 per student per year. So there's an inequity there in
absolutely. Quite a disparity between the more affluent districts and those that service students that are what we would consider under-resourced.
Right. Tell us about some of the programs that you have in Zion that you're proud of.
Well, we have much to be thankful for and much to be proud of. Recently, we've been working very diligently with our staff on revamping our curriculum model to align it to the Illinois state standards, but also to the ACT career and college readiness standards. We were very pleased with the test scores we received this last year based on our efforts of our hardworking staff and our students, that our reading scores went up over 10% and math over 5.
Wow.
This is a one-year gain that we are extremely proud of, and is basically the byproduct of a lot of hard work in the area of staff development and commitment on behalf of our staff and students to look at doing business differently at Zion Benton.
I mentioned that because I know in Waukegan, I think the levels are about 25%. I think in North Chicago, about 21% at grade levels. Reading at grade levels. And what about Zion? How do you rate as far as meeting the state standards?
Well, we have about 45% of our students that were meeting the state standards.
Wow.
Of those tested. So we have a ways to climb, and that's why this 10% gain was really welcomed and celebrated in our school district. We've also built a very strong partnership with our 3 elementary school districts.
Okay.
I and those 3 superintendents meet at least every other week we've been working very diligently with combining our efforts to identify the gaps and the overlaps in the K-12 curriculum scope and sequence, and to see where we could be doing a better job of making sure that student needs are met in each of the content areas. And the staff are pulling together now, and I think that's reflected in the gains that we've seen.
This is fantastic. I mentioned that because I attended your honors ceremony each year, the scholarship presentation and so forth, and millions of dollars are given out to students, that's going on. So evidently you have the percentage of students going to college and universities, vocational and technical schools should be pretty high.
Yes, it is, and it's getting higher. We are building a very strong relationship with our community college, the College of Lake County. They're a wonderful partner. In fact, our new high school that we're opening, that we have opened, New Tech High, next year will be in our third year with a junior class. And we've laid out a wonderful opportunity of on-site dual enrollment courses whereby those students are going to be able to earn college credit at CLC while they're earning dual credit for their high school coursework. So we're extremely excited to offer that opportunity. It serves as just a wonderful bridge to our students as they contemplate opportunities beyond high school.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, we're talking with Mrs. Cris Clark, Superintendent, Zion Benton Township High School, District 126, and she's doing an exemplary job with the district, and we thought she is a person that Lake County should know, and we're very happy that she's taken time from her busy schedule to be with us on Community Focus so that you hear about the District 126. Ms. Clark, tell us about the communities that are included in Zion Benton Township High School and some of the challenges that you face by having them all come together at the high school.
Okay. We serve Beach Park, Zion, and Winthrop Harbor, and portions of Newport Township. Three very different elementary districts as far as their demographic makeups are concerned. They all converge here freshman year, and it works remarkably well. We have a rich diversity of students here. Our population is approximately 39% Caucasian, about 22% Hispanic, 34-35% African American. So we're nearing a third, pretty much as far as the makeup of our demographics. And the students get along splendidly. This is a slice of America here at Zion Benton High School. And what a better place to prepare your students for life. My two children attended and graduated Zion Benton High School, and we're really, really well prepared to function in a diverse American culture. And for that, we are most appreciative.
I know it must be a very challenging experience that working with all different groups. You even have through the Rotary program too, and as students that exchange students. Tell us how they foreign exchange student working in the school district.
Well, that's we've got some wonderful stories there. We do partner with the local Rotary Club and hosting foreign exchange students. Probably our most exciting relationships that we've had in recent years were that we hosted 3 different students from township communities of South Africa, very impoverished students that we brought here and gave them an opportunity to experience public education in America. These are students from Kalicha Township, who, if you've seen any of the photographs of the conditions these students come from, they're quite abysmal. But we were able to bring them over, 2 girls and 1 young man, and as a result, they have now returned to South Africa, and the Rotary Club continues to support them in their efforts to graduate from college. Our one young lady secured a dental hygienist degree and was practicing, and our other young lady is getting ready to graduate from college with an accounting and business degree.
Wow.
And the young man is actually pursuing a medical degree. So those are just wonderful relationships and dynamic impact on our students and staff, the ability to host these students and to learn about what goes on in other parts of the country and to really count our blessings in America with regard to what we have to offer our students.
Sounds like a very challenging program, especially for the students there, too, to learn more about the other parts of the world.
Absolutely.
What about Mr. Gomez? He has another program, too, with students from South Africa. Is that apart from the Rotary program?
No, we have partnered. That's Partners Across the Ocean.
Okay.
Mr. Gomez is still active in that 501c3 organization. Actually, I serve on that committee and attend those meetings, and we still look for ways that Rotary and Pato can partner to serve students that are over in South Africa, as well as continue the dialogue between those students and Zion Benton students.
Fantastic. Tell us about the primary funding sources that you have. Is it from the state, local, or real estate taxes? What are the primary?
Well, I anticipated you might ask me that. So I looked it up before you called just to sharpen my numbers here. And in this fiscal cycle, we're looking at about a 72% local effort, 23% from the state, and 5% from the federal government. That's how our revenues are going to be coming in this year. So we are predominantly reliant on the property taxes, as are most school districts in Illinois, as you know.
Right, exactly, and the taxpayers can only afford so much, and of course that's always a challenge in trying to get a referendum passed, right?
Absolutely. Fortunately, we had a very supportive community back in 2002 when we were facing financial despair at the closing of the Zion nuclear plant. But
yes.
Our citizens and stakeholders stepped up, and we are grateful for that, or we'd be a much different district than we are today had it not been for their support.
Exactly. With all the activities that you have at the school, do you have any time for leisure time activities?
Well, I find that most of my leisure time activities are at one of my high schools here. I really enjoy supporting our extracurricular events, attending our athletic competitions, our plays, our concerts. So my husband and I try to make it out to as many of those as we can. We stay active in our church as much as my schedule will allow, but pretty much supporting the community and the high school is where we spend our leisure time.
Tell us about some of the disciplinary challenges that you may have. I know it comes in spurts. Sometimes we reading the papers about all over the county about disciplinary problems, and then we don't hear from them. And evidently something is good is going about how to curtail problems that you may have.
I'm sorry, did you say disciplinary problems?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Actually, our climate, our culture, in our buildings is quite good. We worked very hard with our parents and our staff, establishing some systems, some initiatives about 12 years ago that have really built a wonderful climate in both of our buildings. We have a character education program with the mantra is the ZB way, respect and responsibility. We have a lot of activities and student leadership training that we do to train our students to work with each other on building social and responsibility into their way of life. And our upperclassmen this year was especially very special. We had on freshman day, typically the first day of school, we only have our freshmen arrive, and they were greeted by some 200 upperclassmen and the entire staff. As they got off the bus, they were applauded. They were welcomed with balloons and the band and encouraged to be all that they could be as EBs. And our upperclassmen escorted them around to their classes and really began building relationships from the moment that they started their education with us. So we continue to push those initiatives forward, understanding that education is much more than reading, writing, and arithmetic. We also have to build in social responsibility and self-worth into our programs.
It sounds like it's just a family affair then. You have character building too there.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. What about staff training? I know there evidently has to be you might give us a type of staff that you do have and about the training you have for them.
Okay. Well, our staff is excellent. We're actually, right now, we have our population has shifted a little bit. We're enjoying a younger influx of teachers as we've experienced quite a few retirements. And we have a very eager staff, very eager to learn, very adept with technology, very committed to understanding best practice. We've been working these last few years on helping them understand how to differentiate their classroom to meet the diverse needs of their student populations. Understanding that all students have different learning styles and come with different abilities. And there's skills and techniques that the teachers can hone that allows them to better serve those diverse needs. And also looking at the curriculum through the microscope and really taking it apart and looking at how what we are doing in our classrooms aligns to the college and career readiness standards that we're held accountable to. And where changes need to be made, we've been making them. We've been putting some sacred cows out to pasture, so to speak, with our instruction, and bringing in line curriculum that aligns with those standards and better prepares our students for post-secondary opportunities. So there's a lot that's been going on with staff development, and I think that's been reflected in the increase in scores that we enjoyed this last year.
You know, we addressed you did cultural diversity in the district, and you gave us some percentages about the Caucasian, Hispanic, and African American. What about the staff in the departments?
Well, let me see here if I can get those statistics up for you here. Here we go. We are about 91% Caucasian, 5% African American, 4% Hispanic. We are currently working very diligently to increase the diversity in our staff. That's often hard to do at the secondary level. Teachers of color are snatched up very quickly at the high school level. And so we are out there right now building relationships with some of the predominantly black colleges and universities, trying to make some inroads with those colleges to encourage their candidates to take a look at District 126 and what we have to offer our staff. In fact, one of our most exciting programs that we're rolling out this year at both campuses is chapters for under the Student African American Brotherhood National Organization with Dr. Tyrone Bledsoe.
Oh, yes.
There's 200 chapters across the country and 2- and 4-year colleges as well as high schools. And we've established a chapter in both of our high schools this year to provide mentorship programs for our young men of color that particularly ties very closely with the College of Lake County as they're beginning their chapter as well. Helping our young men set and stay committed to a plan of attack, so to speak, for their future, and to put adult mentors in their lives that will help them remove the barriers that often prevent them from success. And one of the serendipitous benefits of having our own brother-to-brother chapters is that we are able to establish relationships with colleges and universities that have these chapters as well. And so we're hoping that will assist us as we continue in our efforts to have our staff reflect the demographic breakdown of our student population.
It makes a big difference when students can see someone that look like them.
Absolutely.
In there, and then too, it's difficult to get black men going into education field because, one may be the salaries,
Yes, absolutely.
Are not quite as challenging as other fields,
That's very true, and particularly in the area of math, we find it extremely difficult to find minority candidates in the field of secondary math.
Well, it seems like you're interested in No Child Left Behind. I guess that's the that's been for several years now, and there's you want to describe how Zion Benton is meeting that challenge?
Well, No Child Left Behind is a legislation that's delivered mandates to all public schools to force us to quantify our achievement results. And again, that causes us to align our curriculum to those standards that are going to be tested. But most importantly, in conjunction with that, we must look at the whole student. The whole student cannot be measured by a single test. And so we must look at qualitative data as well as quantitative in our assessing of our students. And certainly it has changed how we do business. The accountability is important, but inside of that, we are committed here that we aren't going to simply teach to a test, that we have a whole student to be concerned about their social growth, their emotional growth, as well as their academic growth. And that's what we endeavor to strive to do our best at.
Yeah, because in the state of Florida, they have what they call that fat cat test.
Yes.
If you don't pass it, you don't graduate.
That's correct.
And it's just testing alone, like you said, it's more than just testing.
Yes.
Wow. Well, lastly, where would you like to see Zion Benton Township High School? And we won't go. What about 5 years? I won't say 10 years. You have some short range goals.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to finish building out our new Tech High at Zion Benton East campus to be a full 4-year school.
Oh.
And we're going to continue to see our academic scores climbing in accordance with the adequate yearly progress goals of No Child Left Behind.
Okay.
But we're going to see more and more students better prepared to not only enroll in college, but to be successful and to graduate from college. Students from every walk of life, every race, every ethnicity, meeting those goals and being successful in their career or college of choice aspirations. That's our goal, and we aim to remain committed to it.
Mrs. Clark, I want to thank you very much again. You demonstrated that you are an exemplary superintendent in Lake County. You're at Zion Benton Township High School, District 126, and we're sure that our listening audience have been greatly benefited by the information you have, as the Navy say, promulgated to the county. So thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day.
Well, you're certainly welcome. And again, thank you for this opportunity, Dr. Brooks.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Community Focus. My name is Dr. Waddell Brooks, Sr., your host.